Okay, so now we're ready to make our check assembly. I've got a new drawing open. I've got my old drawings, clapper and seat ring, and my exemplar. I've got my design center open. I'm all set up, so let me save this new file as check assembly 4-inch. And so the first thing I need to do is bring in my parts. And I'm going to do this a very simple, basic way. There are other more complex and cool and interesting ways, but this will work. So I've opened up my clapper. I'm in model space. And I'm going to select my actual part, right click, get that right. Right click, and I'm going to copy to the clipboard. And then I'll go to my drawing of the check assembly, right click, and paste. And there are my parts. So now I need to do the same thing with my seat ring. Go to the model. Highlight, right click, copy to the clipboard. Right click, paste. Now it's just a matter of putting these parts together. So let me go ahead and do that. I'm going to put this part and line it up here. So that's the move command. And I'm going to place the center on the center. And that looks pretty good. Now this particular line, I want to change to a hidden line because it's underneath the clapper. There we go. And this one, I'm going to line these two little holes up, and hopefully two little holes line up. Yep, looks pretty good. So there we go. I've got my things done. So now I want to move these closer together so I can show them in my assembly. So I'll save that. I've got my parts put together. Looks like a check assembly. There's two parts. So I think that's going to go on a B-size drawing again. So let me bring my layouts together and bring in a B-size. You're getting good at this by now. Right click, delete that layout. Right click, delete the other extra layout. I've got just my mechanical layout. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to put in my notes and all that kind of stuff. It's okay that we're using the exact same ones over and over again, and they may not be perfect and correct for what we're doing. But it's giving you the idea of what happens every time. Here's my revision block title and my items. There's one other thing that goes on an assembly drawing. That's a bill of materials. So I'm going to put my bill of materials title in, and then I have two items, so I need two of the items put in. And I'll go back and fix those at another time. So that's a new thing that goes on there. I'm going to have item 1 and item 2. Item 1 will be, for instance, my clapper, and item 2 will be the other one. What is this thing made out of? So now we go back to our def points layer, layout, rectangular, and let's see how it fits. Let's check our scale. I think that's too big. I think 1 = 2 is going to be fine for what we're going to need. I'm going to get a little bit off of the side over there. So 1 = 1 was too big. Took up too much without really giving me any benefit. Okay. And so that's really kind of cool. Now there's a new thing I'm going to do. I'm going to go and make sure that I'm on my dim text layer. I'm going to annotate. And I'm going to put in a multi-leader. Let's see if I've got a style that's ready for me. See what the style looks like. I'm going to put in a leader and I'll change over to nearest. So I've got item number 1 or item number 2. I'll call that one item number 2. And I'll call this one item number 1. I have 2 items, a clapper and a seat ring. Okay, now I can put some dimensions on and all that kind of stuff. Usually you don't put very many dimensions on here. Maybe I'll just put this 1 on here. And since this is a reference dimension, it's just there so somebody has an idea. This part has already been described fully in another drawing. I don't want to do it here, so I've highlighted it and I hit delete. And I'm going to use parentheses, %, %C, sorry, %, %D, no, %, %C, that's the diameter sign, 6, and another parentheses. %, is C, it gives you the diameter. So that tells me the parentheses says, oh, that's just kind of a quick little reference. Okay, and that's what goes on here. Now, some people may want to see this as a section view. In this case, I don't think the section view helps me. I think it's a little bit easier to understand without the section view. So I'm going to leave it just like this. And that is your check assembly.